Okay, so I just went live on video 27 seconds ago.
Yeah, with the beaver. Is there beavers in Mexico? Yeah. Yes. He should have told me it was a panda. I got excited.
Alright, let's see if you hear Suck Dick Gang Stalk. Oh my god.
Yeah, are we good to go?
Alright, see this audio file right here? Alright, hold on one second. Okay, see this audio file right here? It's in the record mode. And it has been for the last 4 hours and 8 minutes. Okay? Now, as soon as I started videotaping, the dialogue drastically changed. Okay? So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes to see if they have left the area for good. Let's see if they come back. Okay. Now, one thing you got to understand about gang stalking is that gang stalking crimes will intentionally try to keep you scared about certain things, including about circumstances that they intentionally created. Because it's how they can, it's part of the way that these little satanic rats, concerning the program itself, it's part of the way this crime itself keeps power over your thinking by creating your circumstances and then controlling it. Okay? Absolutely. And then, creating scenarios and staged events and dark neurolinguistic programming around you concerning your circumstance. Now, as of right now, you hear nothing. It's stopped. You don't hear no laughing. You don't hear no dialogue. So that would tell the average person that the people have left. Is this not so? So here's what I'm going to do. You can see that this right here. Hold on one second. Let me get out my battery charger. Because what I'm going to do... Oh, and by the way, I've had my hand... Okay, one hand, my right hand, holding this phone since I started this video. And, so there's no way that you can, have one hand holding a phone and another hand creating something like this. It's a big poster I just created. Okay? It says, look, research gang stalking. Alright, hold on, because the sun is really out right now. It says, look, research gang stalking, human trafficking, and police, businesses, universities, rape, torture, murder, hospitals, mass shootings, voice-to-skull technology, remote neural monitoring, electromagnetic torture, gang stalking, false imprisonment, staged arrest, assaults, robberies, harassment, research. Now, there's no way that I can hold a phone over here with my right hand, trying to tape these little role-playing assholes that they propped up. Okay? There's no way I can hold this phone with my right hand for the last 5 minutes and 43 seconds. It's still counting. Okay? And make this sign at the same time. There's no fucking way. It's not humanly possible. And I'm alone. Now, so check this out. I'm going to turn off this audio file that's in the record mode. So we're going to see if at any time while this tape recorder is in the off mode, if these little cycles come back. And that includes approaching me or approaching that area over there. Right here. Okay. Because gang stalking, what these little satanic whores do concerning the mass murder and raping animals who host this crime, they monitor all gang stalking victims. Let's just put it to you this way. There's many, many different types of extremely sophisticated ways that they can monitor gang stalking victims' environments 24/7. You know, in fact, you should remember that this sign that was literally just created and the picture of it was just put on Twitter not even 15 minutes ago. You should also notate that remote neural monitoring is exposed in it, which is an extreme form of total surveillance in real time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this tape recorder off out of the record mode. You can see it's been recording for 4 hours, 12 minutes, and 45 seconds and counting. When I turn it off and then go to this audio file and fast forward it, I've been talking for 7 minutes. So 7 minutes minus 12 is around 4 hours and 5 minutes is when I picked up the phone, turned it on, and started recording. Now, what was caught right before that on the tape recorder, though, is what I'm going to do. So, what I got to do is that when I stop this, so I'm going to stop this at 4 hours, 13 minutes, and at 4 hours and 14 minutes. So, when I do that, we're going to see if these little satanic bitches come back, these role-playing whores that this crime uses. That's part of the gang stalking. And propping up people around gang stalking victims is one of the biggest methods of gang stalking, and making statements concerning threats of arrest are also a method of gang stalking. So when I reach 4 hours and 14 minutes, I'm going to turn it off and we're going to see if they come back anywhere on this property or anybody else of any age. While I'm then going to fast forward into the audio file and play what was being caught, being said, before I went live in this video. Today's date is July 23rd, 2021. Alright, hold on, I gotta get it out of the hold position. So we're gonna see if these little sick fucking bastards come back. And it's gonna take me a few minutes to fast forward this long audio file. Alright, so I'm gonna do it right now. And then I'm gonna show you that this audio file is dedicated to today's date. So I just stopped the recording. So I stopped the recording, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go into this feature right here called Recorded Files, and then it says Search by Record Date. Okay, so you can see that the record date would be 7/23/2021, and then when I bring up the audio file, which started at, let me see what time it started at, because I don't got the best sun right now on me, at 8:02 a.m. And right now, let me see what time it is on my phone. It's 12:18 p.m. So it rings true that it was 4 hours long. 7/23/2021, Friday at 8:02 a.m. Right? Now, when I first started hearing them, I couldn't find my tape recorder because I had it over here, underneath, and it was underneath my knee. And you got to remember, the ground, what's on the ground right now is black, and the tape recorder is black. So when I first started noticing them, hearing them, I couldn't find the tape recorder, but it was in the record mode. So before I go fast forwarding and searching, what I'm gonna do is I just clicked on, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into this function right here, record information. Okay, so available, sorry, that's not the one I want. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in here and go into settings. Click on settings and go into common settings, and then what you do there is you then go back in and, oh, wrong one, bear with me. Okay, oh Lord help me. So recorded files, so then you bring up that recorded file, and then when you bring up that recorded file, You then click on this, and it will tell you the file information concerning the date and how long it is. 4 hours, 14 minutes, and 17 seconds long on today's date, which is the part that's moving, which you'll see in a second. Okay, 7/23/2021. It started at 8 a.m. So the file is 4 hours and 14 minutes and 17 seconds long. Now, why is this important? Because what you needed to hear is what they were saying before I started the video file. Because they were already heard by me for about up to 2 minutes before I was able to bring up the phone, turn on the video file, and start recording through the video camera. Now their dialogue drastically changed once I got on the video, once I started recording through the video file. And that's what I'm trying to prove. Now in this video, when they were still in the area, you heard me say, let's see if they say gang stalk, suck dick, or oh my god, right? Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this audio file. Let me just show you again to make sure so you can see it's still in the same audio file. Oop. So I got the audio file here. I just started it. So again, what I'm going to do is go into, I'm going to select it again. Right there. Once you select it, you can then go over here and you can type, and you then select file information. So you can see it's the same audio file. 4 hours, 14 minutes, 17 seconds long. Now what this crime is doing is this crime right now is forcing me to identify their techniques by staging an event around me, concerning me, and letting me know it's done through gang stalking. Is that possibly related to the Brian 2 hypothesis? Go to Google and YouTube and type in Brian 2, the 2 hypothesis. His last name is spelled T-E-W. Electronic harassment and or remote neural monitoring and or CIA mind control. Trust me. And when you bring his videos up, you want to definitely make sure that you research what's in the descriptions, because a lot of time he will literally type out in text his verbal statements that he makes in the video. That way you can just read the text and you can kind of, sit back and use that as a reference concerning what he's saying as well. So now that I got the video file brought up and it's 4 hours and 14 minutes long, they arrived about 2 minutes before I started videotaping. This file is right now approaching 13 minutes in video time. So if it's 2 hours and 4 hours and 14 minutes long, that means they arrived at around 4 hours. Let's just say 4 hours and 1 minute. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to, there's the file, and I'm going to fast forward it. It's going to take a couple minutes here because it's a long audio file. Now, one of the main things these little satanic bitches have been doing in San Diego, and they also did this, the majority of the same thing in Michigan and in Connecticut, is by propping up psycho maggots around me to repeat gang stalk, oh my god, suck dick, and a bunch of other sick, stupid, vile shit. Threats of calling the police as well, and much more. This crime intentionally made me homeless in Michigan, from 4 apartments and from 1 apartment in Tennessee. So you can see now that I'm approaching almost 3 hours fast forwarding into the audio file. So meaning that, there you go. Okay, so now it's going to be approaching 4 hours here in a minute. So I'll stop it at around 3 hours and 50 minutes so I can slow down the fast forwarding, which is what I just did. And so it's not in play mode. So what I'm going to do is fast forward it just a little bit more. Now it's fast forwarding slower. The longer you hold on to it, the faster it fast forwards. Okay? So I'm going to fast forward it to around 3 hours. Okay, now I went too fast. Okay, so I got to now go back. I now have been recording for 14 minutes and 38 seconds. So I'm gonna rewind it back to 3 hours and 58 minutes long. Okay? Hang on, it's not doing this. Okay. So here we go. 3 hours, 58 minutes, and 30 seconds. This should have been more than enough time to catch these little satanic rats that they use, these little teenager assholes that they use in this crime. Okay, so we're now brought back to 3 hours, 58 minutes into the audio file. That's 4 hours, 14 minutes, and 17 seconds long. Now what you're going to do is you're going to see me turn this up. Tape recorder is at its maximum volume. Now what you need to understand here is that before I noticed them being on the property, I was listening to an audio file through another tape recorder. Let me find it real fast. Just bear with me. And they also did this right before I was getting up to set up my solar panels right by that very spot where they were stationed at. Okay? If they would have staged the event after I propped up the solar panels, concerning the host of this crime, they knew I would have went over there, and therefore they knew since they know I got a phone that's got video capabilities, that meant that the perpetrators, the host of this crime, would have knew that I would have videotaped who they used. Now again, remember, what is one of the biggest technologies connected to gang stalking? Remote neural monitoring, which would enable them to know what your plans are from second to second. Okay? So what I'm going to do, now what I was doing right before they were noticed is I was listening to this audio file.
If it's the Minnesota code or if it's the US code, I think it's the Minnesota.
Okay, so let's rewrite this just for a couple seconds.
So I totally, it's a cartel. Interestingly, tread this thing, fashion came to mind well because this nation thinking consent for goes not just back to 19th century with St. Peter's Basilica, it goes back to the founding of the freaking Vatican. And this entire thing in the Bible, contract is the same, it's a call contract, even if you sign properly. So informed consent for any of this, starting from the birth certificate, no informed consent. Total fraud. It is absolute and utter fraud. But remember, based on that fraud, there's still
Okay, I'm going to fast forward it for a second.
the next thing, because there must 350 million people in the US. It's real state and team points as well. To be that I'm just trying, finding this out right now. Other people much surely have, tread this path much earlier and tried to figure this out, etc. Now, very interestingly enough, this particular, I'll just tell you this because it's a cartel, a bit of info that's connected to what you're saying. Because I totally, examined this notion that there's a scam involved. So, there is a statute. I think the Minnesota code, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not entirely.
Okay, so that's the audio file I was listening to. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because part of this audio file is going to be heard because it was tape recorded on this tape recorder as this audio file was playing in the background. So when I bring this up and start playing it, what's going to happen here is you're going to hear part of that audio file. So just stay with the video. And then what I'll do is I'll stop playing this tape recorder that's got the evidence on it right when it gets to the point where I notice it. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and then I'm gonna discuss what you end up hearing. Hopefully the tape recorder picked it up. All right, so listen, because after I was able to find the tape recorder on the ground, I picked it up and I put it on. I put it right in front of me, a lot close, a lot more towards the area where they were at. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play it and I want you to listen. So I'm starting to say at 3 hours and 58 minutes. I'm going to set this tape recorder down right here. Hold on one second. Because one of the main things I attempt to do concerning this satanic crime, concerning these filthy murdering, human trafficking, raping, torturing animals who host this crime, is to prove that it's occurring. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally set the tape recorder here. So what I can do is, once I press play on it, you can see that it's playing and hear it at the same time.
So I should check if it's the Minnesota code or if it's the US code. I think it's the Minnesota code. There's a statute in the Minnesota code that permits this assumed name or permits these businesses to be registered in Minnesota, okay? And that's